Good evening, everybody, and welcome to opening game here on Channel 15. There's been one game played so far. This is the Little League City Series. These are the champions in the 5 leagues here in the city, playing off for a city championship. This is the first game for West Lynn. Second game for Wyoma. They beat East Lynn. That one got a piece of him, so Janier Rodriguez draws the hit batsman, and he'll be the first base runner. Armani Medina, the third baseman, is the hitter. We'll send one of the original. I can attest to that because I played in 1951, which was the first year of Little League here in the city. And even though I lived in East Lynn, there was a problem. They wound up putting me in West Lynn. My fellow teammate and fellow softball umpire, Rusty Smith, is behind the plate. The runner takes off, throw a little bit high, in with the stolen bases, Rodriguez. Throw was there, but it was high. Rodriguez able to slide under the tag. So West Lynn has a runner in scoring position. Off the catcher, the wild pitch will move the runner to third. Wyoma beat East Lynn 6-1 in the opening game of the tournament. And very unusual. It's never happened in all the years. As it's ball 4 down and away. All the years the City Series has played, they had their first forfeit, and it was the home team, Lynn Shore. Lynn Shore won this the last 2 years. That's why it's here at Lynn Shore. They were looking for 3 in a row to retire the trophy. And they couldn't get enough to show up on Saturday. And Pine Hill won by forfeit, so now Pine Hill only has to win 1 game to get to the final. Hit foul out of play. Nick Marks is the guy on the mound for Wyoma. Over to Elijah Wallace behind the plate. In for a strike, and that's strike 3. So the first out is a called strike. That was Ben Marciano. Andy Lee, the first baseman, is the hitter. In for a strike. I mentioned Nick Marks on the mound. Coach Marks in the dugout. Part of the very prestigious family from the city of Lynn. A name that anybody who's been around Lynn for any length of time will certainly remember. Great athletes. Great contributors to the community. A terrific family. And that's strike 3. So a hit batsman and a walk with a couple of stolen bases, put runs at second and third. Marks has struck out the next 2. Christian Figueroa. They leave it up to him. He's the left fielder. And that one bounces. Safe at the plate. The wild pitch is going to score the run. So it looked like one of them might get out of it. But the second wild pitch brings Rodriguez home with the run and moves Medina over to third with 2 outs. Drop slowly to third, bobbled, and that's going to bring another run home. The error by the third baseman. So it looked like they might get out of it with the 2 strikeouts. Then the wild pitch, little tap towards third, and they just were a little in a hurry to pick it up, dropped it. And Figueroa able to beat it out, reaching on the error. And Westland has jumped on top of Wyoma with 2 runs. Two quick strikes. Jacob Peterson, the catcher, is the hitter. High over the head of Peterson. Nice stab by the catcher Wallace. Swings and misses for strike 3. So 3 strikeouts in the inning. But a hit batsman, a walk, a couple of stolen bases, a couple of wild pitches, an error. And that amounts to 2 runs for West Lynn. They do it without a base hit. So Westland jumps up quickly, gets 2 in the inning. They only put the ball in play once. So Ben Marciano on the mound, before he throws a pitch, has got a 2-0 lead. So Pine Hill, the beneficiary of that forfeit on Saturday, they only have to play 1 game, so 1 win would put them in the finals, and they would not use up hardly any of their pitching. Justin Jennings will lead it off. As Wyoma has to mount a comeback. The only ball put in play was that little tap to third base that couldn't field it cleanly, and it wound up an error, bringing in a run. So we're just about set. So Mike Marks, the manager, Mark McKenna, George Potter, the assistants. for Wyoma. Hit high in the air, that's going to go foul and out of play. And what you have to worry about is the playground over there behind first pitch. A lot of those young kids running around on the slides and the swings, and they have to worry about dancing around foul balls. High and tight for a ball. Jennings is the center fielder for Wyoma. Hit foul again up in the trees behind home plate. This field had a lot of work done. John Kasayan, Jimmy Belleville, people from Babe Ruth and the city all came down and did a lot of gardening here and adding and subtracting, improving, and it turned out to a very nice venue. On the inside corner for strike 3. Chris Marks. We had a bunch of Marks. Chris Marks, the second baseman. Nick Marks, the pitcher. Mike Marks, the coach. Swing and a miss. Hit foul to the backstop. So Wyoma kind of drew the short straw. Have to play Eastland the first game. They had to win that one. They have to win this one. They would have to then beat Pine Hill, and they would have to beat whoever comes out of the loser's bracket. They have to win 4 games. Hit right back to the pitcher. Nice play by Marciano. Solidly hit by Chris Marks. Then Marciano made a nice play helping himself. 2 up, 2 down for Joel Maggs.
To bat, number 8, Joel.
High for a ball. High again for a ball. Three pitches out of the strike zone. And make it 4. Maggs becomes the first base runner for Wyoma with the 2-out walk. And Andrew Potter will be the hitter. We mentioned again, this is the 2018 Lynn City Championship Series. 5 leagues. There used to be a few more. There were 2 Westland teams. There was a Central team. But it dwindled down to 5. Hit in a right field for a base hit. They're setting the runner, and he's going to score. The hitter only got to first base. Maggs was able to score all the way from first. So it's a long single and an RBI for Andrew Potter. And Elijah Wallace will be the catcher as the hitter. Hits it foul out of play. When Wyoming gets one of them back, they get the first hit of the ballgame. Westland got the run without a hit. To the backstop. That moves the runner down to second base. Up and away for a ball. High and away for a ball again. Quick throw to second. They almost got him napping. They almost picked Andrew Potter off. Ball 4 goes to the backstop. So now runners at first and third. The walk to Wallace. The wild pitch moves Potter to third.
Up to bat, number 7, Nick.
Nick Marks, the pitcher, can help himself here. Foul off the umpire. Way inside for a ball. Up and away for a ball. So Mass, started out great. A strikeout, made a nice play on a hit to the mound. 2 quick outs, but then a walk, a hit, a walk, a wild pitch. Hit foul off the backstop. And we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. West Lynn leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. The count goes full. Swing and a miss for strike 3, so he gets 2 strikeouts in the inning. Wyoma gets 1 of them back on the RBI single by Andrew Potter. We played an inning here in the Lynn City Series. West Lynn leading Wyoma 2-1. Victor Contreras, the second baseman, will lead off the second inning. High for a ball. 7, 8, and 9 for West Lynn, leading it 2-1 here in the second inning. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1. In for strike 2. Nick Marks starting his second inning of work. Waves at that pitch for strike 3. So all the outs so far have been strikeouts.
Up to bat, number 7, Joe.
Joe Bollier, the right fielder, is the hitter. High and away for a ball. Low for a ball, 2-0. High, count goes 3-0. On 4 pitches, Polier draws the second walk, given up by Marks. Eddie Lewis.
Number 8, Eddie.
His father is in the dugout coaching, was an outstanding athlete. Basketball, football, very good friend. Off the catcher's glove, the pass ball moves the runner down. West Lynn has another runner in scoring position with one out here in the second, leading it 2-1. High and tight for a ball. And that's ball 4, so back-to-back walks after a strikeout. Runners at first and second for the top of the order. Jania Rodriguez got hit by a pitch and scored the first run of the ball game. And coach and Father Marks comes out to talk to Nick Marks. Strikeout, back-to-back walks here in the second inning.
Up to bat, number 3.
West Lynn's leading 2-1. They're still looking for their first hit. On the inside corner for a strike. Two quick strikes. Nice stop by the catcher Wallace on a pitch in the dirt. Missing again, the count evens at 2. So he had him 2 strikes, you don't want to let him go too far. Now he's got to come in with a pitch, he'll put him on. Nick Marks, he works very quickly, doesn't take much time at all. And that's ball 4. 3 straight walks after a strikeout have loaded the bases for West Lynn, trying to add to a 2-1 lead. Almani Medina drew a walk and scored the second run in the first inning. Hit foul off to the right side. We're a long way away, so I have to wait for the umpire to say foul because I can't. I'm lucky if I can see the left field line. Hit in the air, coming on the center fielder. Can't make the catch. It drops in for a base hit. Nice try by Jennings to trying to pick it off the grass. Medina gets the first hit for West Lynn, gives him an RBI.
Up to bat, number 10, Ben.
So the bases are still loaded with one out. Ben Marciano, the pitcher, was called on strikes. In for a strike. So the first hit results in an RBI. Hit foul. Hit by the shortstop in the left center field. 2 runs are going to score. So they didn't have a hit. All of a sudden they got back-to-back hits. 2 RBI for Marciano.
Up to bat, number
3 straight walks started this. Andy Lee, the first baseman, struck out his 1 trip. He's the 7th hitter in the inning. 2 quick strikes. Strike 3. And Nick Monk's on the mound. Still, all the outs have been strikeouts.
number 6, Christian.
Christian Figueroa reached on an error. Takes it high and tight for a ball. Swing and a miss. Three walks in the inning. All 3 have scored. A walk and a hit batsman in the first inning. Both of them scored. In for a strike. And that's another walk. That's the 4th walk in the inning. Jacob Peterson is the hitter. They batted around. 9th hitter in the inning.
Up to bat, number 5, Jacob.
Swing and a miss. Peterson struck out swinging his first trip. Two quick strikes. So 6 strikeouts in 2 innings for Marks, but in between there have been 5 walks and a hit batsman, and 5 of those 6 have scored. They get on the board for 3. They get 2 hits in the inning. The RBI single by Medina, the 2 RBI single by the pitcher Marciano. They send 9 to the plate. Marciano had a 2-0 lead to start the first inning. He's got a 5-1 lead to start the second inning. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 for Wyoma. The only saving grace for them is it's only the second inning. They've got plenty of time to catch up. But 5 walks and a hit batsman. Kyle McKenna, Matt Cote or Cody, I'll say it both ways, hope I get it right once. Nat Catone. Those are the 3 hitters coming up facing Ben Marciano, who's got a little more breathing room starting the second inning. He gave up a run to cut the Western lead to 2-1, but now His team gets him 3 more. We mentioned the winner of this will get Pine Hill. Not an easy task. Pine Hill went deep into the Williamsport tournament.
Up to bat, number 11, Kyle.
Kyle McKenna, the left fielder, will lead it off. Looking to get something started for Wyoma. In for a strike. This is the 67th year of the City Series. A little bit different the first year. There were only 2 leagues. And they played 1 game under the lights at Frazier Field. And that was just East Lynn and West Lynn. That one hits the backstop on the fly. Swing and a miss.
Up to bat, number 12,
3rd strikeout for Marciano. So the only out that hasn't been a strikeout was Marciano fielding the ground ball back to the mound. On both sides. High and tight for a ball. Matt Cote, the third baseman, is the hitter.
What team were you?
Hit foul out of play. Way up off the backboard, the backstop. Cote draws a walk. Third walk given up
number 4, Nate Catone.
by Marciano. Nate Catone, the right fielder, is the hitter with the top of the order on deck. High and tight for a ball. Swing and a miss. Chase the high pitch. Hit foul to the backstop. Count goes 1-2. High for a ball. The count evens at 2. High and tight. So he had him. Now he's got to come in with a pitch. He'll put him on. Hit foul. Good at bat by Catone, hanging around, making Marciano throw some pitches. Strike three. Good pitch. Caught him looking. 4 strikeouts for Marciano. Justin Jennings, the center fielder, was called on strikes.
Up to bat, number 3, Justin.
Chopped that one. It was over his head, and the error is going to allow him to reach. He got a break there. He was chopping wood with that swing. So that keeps the inning alive for Chris Marks.
2, Chris.
Two on, 2 out. Chris Marks is the second baseman. Swings and misses for a strike. Chopped at that one too. That was high and out of the strike zone. Two strikes to count. Waves at that pitch, so Marciano, a walk and an error doesn't hurt. He strikes out the side. Five strikeouts in 2 innings for Marciano. 6 for Nick Marks, but it's West Lynn on top. 5-1 at the end of 2. Kyle McKenna is the new pitcher. And it bounces in. Victor Contreras, he led off the second inning. He's leading off the third inning as West Lynn battled around. I see they put Jake Desmond in left field. They moved Jennings from center field to third base. I don't know where Nick Marks went. Went. And that's ball 4. So the beat goes on.
Up to bat, number 7, Joe.
Joe Bollier walked and scored. Takes the pitch for a strike. Missing for a ball. Swing and a miss. High for a ball. Strike 3 called. McKenna keeps the record intact. All the outs have been strikeouts.
Up to bat, number 15, Mark.
Mark Bergeron is hitting for Ed Lewis. Hit fouled on the first baseline. That's the one sub that West Lynn has. Hit fouled on the first baseline. Goes to the backstop. That'll move the runner up. Lynn has another runner in scoring position. The runner at second decided not to go. The ball was in front of the catcher. Couldn't find it for a second. He kept it in front of him, Wallace did. Swing and a miss. Yet another strikeout.
Up to bat number 3,
Jania Rodriguez. It's perfect. He got hit by a pitch, walked, scored 2 runs. He hasn't been up officially, but he scored 2 runs. Lines it into left center field for a base hit. The runner at second, I'm not sure what he was waiting for with 2 outs. With 2 outs, the runner
number 4,
at second only got to third. It's a brick for Wyoma. In for a strike. To the backstop. They're not able to go because it bounced all the way back almost to the pitcher. He only had to come in 2 or 3 feet to pick it up. So the runners stay at their second and third. Hit to second. Chris Marks over to Potter. So they could have got a run on the base hit. The runner at second decided only to go to third. So they get a walk, a wild pitch, a base hit, but they don't score. First time that West Lynn doesn't score. One of the few walks that hasn't scored. And that ground to second is the first out for West Lynn that wasn't a strikeout. So we'll move into the bottom half of the third with West Lynn on top 5-1. Wyoma will have the middle of the lineup up 3, 4, and 5. Eddie Lewis is back in at center field. They pinch hit for him. He's back in the game in center field. Well, we'll get their 1 hit in the first inning, an RBI. Maggs, who had walked, hustled all the way around from first to score on a base hit to right field. Kind of lead to 2-1, but West Lynn got it right back, getting 2 in the second. 3 straight walks after a strikeout, followed by back-to-back hits by Medina and Marciano. Knocked in the 3 runs, the first 2 hits that West Lynn had, and the only 2 hits. Well, they got 1 in the third, so now they have 3. But that was their first 2 hits in the ballgame. Marciano starting his 3rd inning of work.
up to bat number 8,
Joel Maggs, the shortstop, walked and he hustled around from first and a base hit to right field. That got him on the board. Swings and misses through that pitch. High and tight for a ball. Marciano picks up his 6th strikeout.
Up to bat, number 10, Andrew.
Andrew Potter has the only hit in the ballgame for Wyoming. He dumped one in the right field, knocking in the 1 run back in the 1st inning. Hit by the second baseman. Potter will reach on the error. Second error by Lynn. Elijah Wallace threw a walk.
Up to bat, number 9, Elijah.
Up and away for a ball. High and tight for a ball. The winner will get a day off, come back and play Pine Hill on Wednesday. The loser will probably come back tomorrow. And that hits him. So 2 on with 1 out.
Up to bat, number 7, Smith.
Nick Marks is still in the game. I'm not sure where he was playing, unless he's coming back in to hit. He came off the mound. He didn't go in to catch. So I don't know where he went in the lineup. The infield was still the same. So he's probably re-entering here as he hits it foul out of play. He struck out swinging his 1 trip. High over his head for a ball. Swing and a miss. Hit to third. They'll make the force at third. Nice play by Medina. Went a couple of steps to his left and just easily beat the runner
Up to bat,
to third.
number 5, Jake.
It's only the second out. Chase, that pitcher was way over his head. That ground force at third, the only second out that hasn't been a strikeout. Lynn has struck out every time except the ground ball to second. In for a strike. And that's another strikeout. That was Jake Desmond, who went in to play left field with the strikeout. We played 3 full in this City Series, Little League style. Westland 5, Wyoma 1. 3, 4, and 5 for Westland as we start the 4th inning. Popped up. And it bounces. Looked like the second baseman called for it. I don't know if he lost it in the sun. It winds up a base hit for Marciano. It's a line drive in the box score. It just bounced. And that's Mark's playing second base now. In for a strike. The wild pitch. This is Andy Lee, who was struck out twice. Both times against Nick Marks. And now high and tight. Andrew Potter is the pitcher now. Hit back to the mound, he knocks it down and makes the play. Marciano moved over to third. Wide for a ball. I'm not sure who the catcher is. Wallace, the catcher, is now at first base. So the second baseman, Marks, went behind the plate. High for a ball. And that's ball four, another walk. Figueroa, his second walk, he also reached an error. He's been on base 3 times.
Up to bat, number 2, Victor.
Jacob has struck out twice. Jacob Peterson, the catcher. Second and third now with 1 out. Missing for a ball. Call third strike for the second out. Boy, I dropped the ball someplace. They only had 2 outs. I thought they only had 4 hitters. We'll move into the bottom half of the fourth. 8-9-1 for Wyoma. Marciano will start his fourth inning of work. They're not giving us the subs, so people have moved around all over the place.
Up to bat, number 1, Will.
The catcher is now playing third. The third baseman is now playing shortstop. This is Will Potter, who went in to play center field when they moved Jennings to third base, when changing pitchers. And that's another strikeout for Marciano. Jimmy Jennings.
Up to bat, number 6, Jimmy.
He went in to play right field. Missing for a ball. Pop foul over the Wyoma dugout. Popped up again. That's going to go out of play. High for a ball. Just got a piece and stays alive. Hit behind second base. That's going to be a base hit. They're not going to get him. Jimmy Jennings gets a base hit. Justin Jennings will be the hitter.
Up to bat, number 3.
That's the first hit since the first inning. Only, obviously, the second hit in the game for Wyoma. The other one was a little dump in the right field. This is a little infield hit just to the second base bag. Down and away for a ball. Jennings has struck out and reached on an error. High and tight for a ball. Way up in the air, 3-0. And that's ball 4. So Wyoma's had base runners. They had 3 in the first and scored a run. They had 2 in the second, 2 in the third. They've got 2 here in the fourth, but they haven't been able to get the hit to get runs home. And they're out Maybe getting close to the pitch count for Ben Marciano. Lined in the, by the right fielder all the way to the fence. That's going to score a couple. He's going to wind up with a triple. Chris Marks hit a rocket into right field.
Extra bat, number 8, Jay.
All of a sudden, it's 5-3. Joe Maggs has walked and scored and struck out. This is a big run at third base for Wyoma.
Joe, let's go, kid. It's my kid. I had to say it once. I had to say it once. You're going to hear me over here or here, so I'll do it again. Here you go, Joe.
Hit in the right field. It's going to hook foul. Slices it the opposite way. High for a ball. Swing and a miss. Nine strikeouts from Marciano, and that's his last hitter, I believe. Wyoma finally got to him in this inning. Well, they only had one hit coming into the end. They got 2 hits and a walk. They've scored twice.
Extra bat, number 10, Andrew.
Armani Medina is the new pitcher. Marciano goes to third. Hit foul out of play. So Marciano goes 3 2/3, gives up the 3 runs. They're earned. 3 hits. Walk 4. Struck out 9. And he's on the sheet for the win if Wesleyan can hold on. Wyoming trying to make a strong comeback. And that's ball 4. Potter's on for the 3rd time. Runners at first and third for the moment. I would assume they're going to try and steal second base. Elisha Wallace has walked and got hit by a pitch. And the runner takes off and goes to second base. So the tying runs are in scoring position. High for a ball. Swing and a miss. Chased the pitch, might have been out of the strike zone, a little bit high. Down and away. Off the catcher. The runner coming home. Safe at the plate.
What?
Now they call him out.
Safe.
They call him safe. Looked like he slid by and missed the plate. And alertly the catcher tagged him. So it looked like they were going to get within a run. They did cut it to 2. They get 2 in the inning. The big 2 RBI triple by Chris Marks. And it's now West Lynn 5, Wyoma 3 at the end of 4. Victor Contreras will lead it off. Takes it high for a ball. He has struck out and walked.
Number 7, Joe.
And it's actually Joe Bolia who's the hitter. Potter in his second inning of work. Bounces that one down and away. Well, it almost looks like he's aiming the ball rather than throwing the ball. Like he's throwing a shot put. He's stepping and then throwing. It worked for a strikeout.
Next batter, 15, Mark.
Mark Bergeron is the hitter. Strange delivery by Potter. He goes from the stretch, then he steps and throws it from behind his shoulder. Using all arm, he's not following through. It's going to be foul, out of play over the backstop. Hit foul again. If he throws enough like this, he's going to wind up with a sore arm. His arm is doing all the work. He's not following through at all. Bergeron draws a walk. Janier Rodriguez has been on base 3 times. He got hit by pitch, scored, walked, scored, singled. Well, he's 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored. In for a strike. Up and away for a ball.
Bellissimo.
high in the air behind shortstop. Nice job by Joe Maggs going back and making the play. Nice defense by the shortstop.
Up to bat, number 4, Armani.
2 away. Armani Medina is now the pitcher. He's walked and scored, singled in a run, bounced out second and first. His ground to the second was the first out that wasn't a strikeout for West Lynn in the ballgame. Pop foul out of play. Again, we have to worry about those kids in the playground dodging all the foul balls. Hit in the air to right field. Coming on, it bounces off the leg of the right fielder. They get it back quickly. It winds up a double for Medina. Keeps the inning alive now, second and third. Ben Marciano, who's now the third baseman, he struck out. He singled his last 2 times. His first single knocked in 2 runs. And those 2 runs are the difference in the game right now. And now Joe Maggs is going to be the new pitcher. I got the numbers wrong. I thought it was number 8. It's number 9. Elijah Wallace is the new pitcher. Potter will go back to first base. Pitch in for a strike. Marciano was the starting pitcher. Ran into the pitch count, moved to third base. Hits it foul off the backstop. He could help himself here. He's still on record as the winning pitcher if the score holds up. Second and third with 2 outs. Wide for a ball. Hit long and high. That's probably the hottest ball hit all day. Got way out in front and pulled it well foul. Goes to the backstop, but it bounces right back. That wooden backstop kicked it right back to the catcher. So Bergeron wasn't going anywhere with that. A little love tap. Nice play. Potter spears it. That's a very nice play. Nice defense. Marciano just reached out and tapped it. It looked like it might go into right field. Potter with a nice running catch. So West Lynn threatens second and third. Wallace comes in and gets the third out. In the bottom of the 5th, it'll be 5, 6, and 7 for Wyoma, as they need 2 to get back in it. We mentioned the winner of this will get Pine Hill on Wednesday. The loser probably comes back. I don't know if they come back tomorrow or Thursday, depending on whether Lynn Shore can mount a team. They forfeit out. The loser will either sit and wait for the winner of East Lynn, Lynn Shore, or come back and play East Lynn. If it's Wyoma, they could play East Lynn for the 2nd time in a row. They beat East Lynn to start the tournament. So Elijah Wallace, Nick Marks, Kyle McKenna will be the 3 hitters as Wyoma put their starting 9 back on the field after doing their just desserts with their subs. And Medina will go back on the mound for West Lynn. Elijah Wallace was up when the runner from third tried to score and was ruled safe and then ruled out as he missed home plate, we're assuming, sliding home. So Wallace will be up again, leading off the fifth. It bounces for ball one. Wyoma was down 5-1. They scored 2 in the fourth to get back in it. West Lynn trying to hang on after building up that lead. They got 5 in the first 2 innings. High and tight for a ball. Wyoma needs the hitter on to bring the tying run to home plate. And they get him with the walk. Sixth walk given up by West Lynn pitching. 8 walks given up by Wyoma pitching. High for a ball. Nick Marks has struck out and bounced into a fielder's choice. Swing and a miss. Missing for a ball, 2-1. That evens the count at 2. And it chopped at that one for strike 3.
At the bat, number 11, Kyle.
In for a strike. Kyle McKenna has struck out and struck out. And he's got 2 quick strikes now. Hit foul out of play. High for a ball. Hit back to the pitcher. They get 1. They get 2. Nice turn in the middle. The pitcher's best friend, a 1-6-3 double play. Wyoming now down their last 3 outs. We've completed 5 in this City Series game. West Lynn holding on to a 5-3 lead over Wyoma. Andy Lee has struck out twice and bounced to the pitcher, leading off the 6th inning. Waves at the pitch for strike 1. Strike three. And they throw it away at first base. They changed that rule a couple of years ago. It used to be automatic a strikeout. Now you have, if the ball is not caught, you have to throw the runner out. So Lee strikes out, but he reaches. "12 strikeouts for Wyoma pitching, and they're on the short end of the score." Christian Figueroa is perfect. He reached on error and walked twice. He's the left fielder. Off the catcher's glove that moves the runner down. Looked like he took something off, and way out in front was Figueroa. Waves at that one as well. Down and away for a ball. Line to the second baseman, and it's a double play. They're going to go out now and talk about it. Lynn thinks he trapped it. And it's a double play. Marks picked it off the dirt. Nice defense by Nick Marks. He picked it off the dirt. The runner at second was off the bag. They doubled him off. Lynn was saying, go back to second base. It wasn't a, they thought he trapped it. And they said, no, it was a catch. So there's 2 outs. Jacob Peterson is the hitter. So instead of a runner at second with nobody out, it's nobody on with 2 out. Hit to the mound. Wallace falls down, can't make the play. It'll be a base hit for Peterson. Wallace went into field, just a little love tap, swinging bunt out in front of the plate. Wallace went in to get it. As he tried to pick it up, he slipped and fell and tried to throw it from sitting down. Peterson beats it out. Extends the inning for Victor Contreras, who was struck out, walked and struck out. Hit to first. They'll tag the runner going to first, Potter. So the strikeout that reached became 4 outs. The base hit is left there. Eight walks given up by Wyoma pitching. They also struck out 12 in the game. And even though they struck out 12, they need a 6th inning rally because they're down 2 runs. They'll have the bottom 2, 8, 9, and then back to the top of the order. In the 6th, they need 2 to stay alive. Lynn needs 3 outs to stay in the winner's bracket and move on to play Pine Hill in what would be the finals of the winner's bracket. So Marciano went into the 4th inning. He gave up the 3 runs. They were earned. only gave up 3 hits. Walked 5. Struck out 9. And he's on record for the win if they hold on here. Medina trying to save it for him. Starting his second inning of work. He came in the 4th inning. It'll be Matt Cote, Nate Catone, and Justin Jennings, the 3 hitters for Wyoma, needing at least 2 to keep their hopes alive. Westland got 2 in the first. Wyoma got 1 in the bottom. And that's the closest Wyoma's been. Westland added 3 in the second. Open up a 5-1 lead. They haven't scored since the second inning. They threatened every inning, but they haven't scored. Wyoma added 2 in the fourth on a 2-run triple by Chris Marks. And that's where we are, 5-3 in the bottom of the 6th. So again, Wyoma needs 2 to stay alive. And the first hitter, Cote, has to get on to bring the tying run to home plate. Waves at that pitch for strike 1. Low for a ball. High for a ball. Sliced it foul past first base. Missing for a ball, the count evens at 2. Strike 3 called. Twelve strikeouts for Wyoma, 11 strikeouts for West Lynn. Chased that pitch, was over his head and fouled it back. Nick Catone struck out his 1 trip. High for a ball. Down and away. Down and away again. The 3-1 pitch. Nice play by the pitcher, helping himself. Catone hit it well. Medina took it away. Wyoma down their last out. And trying to save pitching. I think they're going to make another pitching change.
New pitcher for the Western Red Sox, number 4, Amani. Number 3, Junior.
Junior Rodriguez is the new pitcher. the girl doing the announcing said, "I'm pitching number 4," and Rodriguez stopped, just wind up, looked up in the press box and said, "No, I'm number 3." So Wyoma, their pulse is fading. 2 outs in the 6th. They're down 2 runs. Justin Jennings has struck out, reached an error, walked and scored. He scored one of the 2 on that Chris Marks triple in the 4th. And Marks was initially called safe when the ball got by the catcher, but then they called him out because he slid by home plate and didn't tag it, and they tagged him out. Trying to bunt and missed it. Jennings has to get on, obviously, to keep the inning alive. Hits it high in the air to center field. It's over the center fielder's head. They're sending him home, and now they hold him up. They waved him and then held him. He tomahawked that one over the center fielder's head, and that pulse gets a little bit stronger. The tying run comes to home plate. Chris Marks bounced to the pitcher, struck out, and hit that triple that knocked in 2. So Jennings keeps it alive with the triple. In for a strike, 1-1. That pitch way up and in, and he tomahawked it foul. Boy, they love those high pitches. Hit the second by the second baseman. And the pulse just got a little stronger. West Lynn thought they had him at first base. All of a sudden, the tying run is at first base. The winning run is at home plate. Joe Maggs walked and scored. Struck out the last 2 times. And we got a timeout as they come out. Conversation on the mound for West Lynn. So it looked like Wyoma was going to drop in the losers bracket. 2 up, 2 down, down 2. Jennings kept it alive with a big triple. Marks gets a base hit, makes it 5-4, and he's the tying run at first base. Joe Maggs is the winning run at home plate. West Lynn trying to hold on, Wyoma trying to come all the way back. So that out on the play that got away from the catcher that was initially ruled safe is huge right now. We would have a tie game. Swing and a miss. West Lynn 1 strike away. Maggs trying to keep it alive. Strikeout ends the game. Wyoma came all the way back. They leave the tying run at first base after falling down 5-1. West Lynn got 2 in the first inning. Rodriguez got hit by a pitch, stole second. Medina walked, a wild pitch, moved Rodriguez to third. A stolen base, Medina at second. A wild pitch brought Rodriguez home. An infield error made it 2-0 West Lynn. In the bottom of the first, a walk to Maggs. A base hit to right field by Potter. Maggs hustled all the way around to score the run. It was 2-1. In the second, 3 straight walks loaded the bases. Medina with a base hit for an RBI. Marciano with a base hit for 2 RBI. And those 2 RBI by Medina turned out to be the winning runs that made it 5-1. Wyoma got back in the 4th. A base hit by Jimmy Jennings. A walk to Justin Jennings. And then a big triple by Marks. And then the very big play in the game, the ball got away from the catcher. It looks like Marks scored from third. He was ruled safe, but then they tagged him again, and it was ruled that he missed home plate, and he was called out. And that proved to be huge because they lost the game by a run. But that made it 5-3 in the 6th inning after 2 outs. Jennings tripled. Chris Marks knocked in his 3rd run of the game to make it 5-4. The tying run at first base. And coming up with the big strikeout was Rodriguez to end the game and give West Lynn the win. So Wyoma will go 1-1 in the tournament. West Lynn wins the first game they played. They'll get to play Pine Hill. West Lynn will now, Wyoma now will drop into the losers bracket. For West Lynn, Rodriguez was on base 3 times, scored twice. Medina had a walk, a double, a single, knocked in 1, scored 1. Marciano had 2 base hits, knocked in 2. Figueroa was on base 3 times. Bolia drew a walk and scored a run. Lewis drew a walk and scored a run. On the other side, Justin Jennings had a walk and a triple, scored 2. Chris Marks had a triple and a single, knocked in 3. Maggs drew a walk and scored a run. Potter had an RBI single, was on base 3 times. Wallace was on base 3 times, 2 walks and a hit batsman. And Jimmy Desmond got a base hit and scored a run. And that was it. As West Lynn holds on, they led 5-1. Wyoma came all the way back, left the tying run at first base. West Lynn wins it by a score of 5-4. They'll stay alive in the winners bracket. Wyoma will drop to 1-1 and drop into the losers bracket and play either East Lynn or Lynn Shore. If it's East Lynn, it'll be their 2nd time against East Lynn. But now it'll be Pine Hill and West Lynn in the final of the winners bracket. So the final score, West Lynn holds on to that 5-1 lead they had. They win it 5-4 over Wyoma. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Huffman saying we'll see you next time.